ladies and gentlemen, and it's those to be. So even though I used to sexualize things too much because overthinking mine is just like, is it sexy or am I choosing to twist it into my own mindset to make it sexy? Literally, ladies and gentlemen, and those I don't know preferred pronouns too, sexy is what we choose to define it to be. Like, if you paid attention to the movies that use animals and sex sells, and yes, it really does, because why were you watching it? Oh, attractive man, attractive female, attractive it, attractive that. And it's just like, I think I have a problem when I want to screw animals, but I don't believe in bestiality. Like, I know it's a thing, but I would never go out and fuck a rabbit. But Utopia got me fucking questioning myself. I wouldn't be kissing rhinos or fucking hippopotamuses, but Madagascar, ooh, why is she so thick like that? You know she black. What the fuck? So like, it's cool and all, but stop sexualizing sex. And the second dosage, and I'm still trying not to use black. I'm trying to still slowly translate to, not translate, but transfer to melanated, because like, I definitely hate colored because let me smack your Caucasian pale skin for a hot second. Hey, I could tell you're cold. Your fingers look a little bit blue. Hey, I could tell you're heated. Your face looks a little bit red. Where's that green come from? You sick? Huh? You don't look yourself. You look off colored. But I'm the colored folk. That's a colored joke. I love colorful languages. Well, colorful words. But what does that mean? I don't know. We just throw around these words and define them differently. So I need to learn your dictionary. And mine is, well, I'll explain if you ask me. But if you don't want to listen, why the fuck are you asking? Most people don't. And when they do, they tend to tap out. And I'm just like, ugh. I guess I will stop speaking when I'm done. One more, I promise you won't overdose. So, I did watch Black Panther 2 while I was in the institute, which I thought was all. And it showed me something, and while I was there, people keep telling me that, so I guess eventually I have to go. And like, people's like, you should be a cop, you should be a therapist, but that's not what I mean. You should go back home to Haiti because that's where I'm from. And I'm like, money, economy, I would actually, because it'd probably be a lot easier for me to get things, because technically speaking, nationality and certain things, yes, I do have a green card here, but it seems like every time I try to do things here, it's like 6 steps forward. Wait, no, 6 steps to prepare for the first step forward. And it's just like, yeah, what the fuck? So honestly, I want to visit it because I realize how beautiful it is because of the Facebook page I'm following from what I saw from Black Panther, assuming that they're actually using Haiti and not some other place and calling it Haiti, because movies just be doing shit to make it look cool and beautiful and all this and all that. But I'm like, I gotta go back to the mother home eventually and hopefully soon, honestly. All right. I've been up since I think about like 4:50, 3 something, 2 something. I don't really remember. I've just been up, and all I've been doing is I've written. Well, I've typed 2 poems which are separate from the 50 collection, and one of them is just about how I've experienced things, and I'm just like, I gotta read this. I need to read this, but I'm gonna have to do it later on today. I just wrote so early, like I don't want to be causing too much noise. Like I never want to be the one that is too much of a bother in every room, and every person speaks differently and they mean things differently. It's like, what the fuck is your dictionary? So it's just like, once I wrote it, I'm glad I got headphones on because I was able to re-listen to it multiple times. I like it, and I think I got to the point where I can read it. I just need the time to be able to read it. So I'm just like, hurry up, because it's only like 6 or 7. Any lightful shit to say for today? Uh, Maybe next second. You're gonna die anyway, so try not to leave a bitter taste in people's mouth, but understand that some people just have bitter tasting mouths to begin with. It's not you, it's them. And I've always been on walking on eggshells depending on where I am, who I'm with, and I do realize there are acceptable ways to be and there are unacceptable ways to be. Yet again, there's also groups that accept however you are and whoever you are, whereas there's only groups that will accept only certain versions of you. So it's always trying to find that it's perfect compared to the it's doable, it's livable, it's the circumstances dictate. And well, if we had better circumstances, we'd dictate things differently. But due to the fact of the things that are currently, well, which is like literally how I explained my CMH mental evaluation. I told them that I'm literally driving illegally. I have no license, I have no money, just because of the whole entire thing that's going on at the hospital. But how are you gonna tell me to live my life if I have the ability to, but legally I can't? So I'm just doing it. And I even told her, worst case scenario, if a police officer pulls me over, it's all I'm gonna do is tell him the truth. Like, I feel as if the city that we're currently in, for as many times as we've had hospital issues, for as many times the past couple weeks, I've been trying to get like CPS and stuff like not CPS, but APS and mental health, and just trying to get things around. I'm pretty sure we're known in the city, just not really well known in a well an honorable way. I'd say a dishonorable because the whole entire bedbug situation. But I'm still like, what do you want me to do? Everybody around us has life. You can, I hope, comprehend the fact that people have individual lives that allows them to be able to do what they want or need to, or sometimes are stuck in positions. So therefore, asking for help seems plausible, but for the fact that people are too busy doing their things and like maybe they can fit me in, but I need to do things right now, not later. So therefore, if I have the abilities to do things I can do, what the fuck stop me aside from laws and rules and regulations that say you're not supposed to? It's special. I've always been special. Like in a perfect cutthroat world, there would be bargainings in place for people are having issues like this. Oh, you don't have any money. Well, how about if you move this for me? How about if you come next Tuesday? And that's if people are being honorable and respectful in my delusional perfect world. Come back next Tuesday and do this or babysit this, or if you could obtain this item for me, if you could. But because bartering is not a system that's in play anymore, and if it is, it's more or less illegal because how I've come to learn is the concept and idea of the system is a good idea, but conceptualizing it and keeping people from being not tarnished, but tainted in the ways that they enforce it is the issue. Because, like I said, in a perfect world, I wouldn't have issues getting around, getting the things I need. But the world's not perfect, so therefore I'm doing what I need to. But if I have the chance to do it in better forms, then of course I am. But I can't. I'm doing what I can, but oh, I'm the bad guy. Of course I am. And also, I live in a city that's small enough that like there is more or less public transportation. There's the dollar rides, and I guess I could possibly get calls around to eventually. But the issue is now and later. Because if I could plan to get things around, then yes. But I need it now. I don't need it later because if I would have known beforehand how to preset the stuff, yes, I could have things put into play. But not everybody has the same upbringing. Not everybody has the same level of education. Not everybody gets things to the in depth that other people do. And I'm willing and more than willing to able to sit down and talk slow or go into deep details. But some people don't want to take the time, the patience, the energy. I'm just like, yeah, I can see why people think there's something wrong with me mentally because I want to fucking make sure I don't get shit confused. Where you guys are just like, I don't give a fuck if you get confused. I'm just gonna yell at you and demean you and just devalue you and just never hire you again. And fuck you and but I'm just trying my best. Also, the way that my thoughts work is if you have the skill, the know-how, and the skill, know-how, education, and the ability to teach others to do things that could better themselves, better you, better the experience, and you choose to be irresponsible by just not sharing or just by not giving a crap, like fair enough, do what you want, do what you will, just don't force your thoughts and opinions negatively upon others or rape, steal, not necessarily steal, rape, kidnap, molest, or any of that shit. But my thought process is if you can produce better, why not produce better? If you can't, at least be aware enough to try to learn to do better. And that's just, in my perfect world, I would at least be able to bargain my skills to be able to get from point A to point B. But in this capitalistic society, in this fucked up world, if you ain't got money, damn's the reals, motherfucker. Damn's the reals. It's black and white. There's no colored areas. Last couple days, I realized two things, regardless if people are going to connect it like I did or not. But there's 2 points in where you're not going to have to really worry about paying for things. That's when you're so wealthy that people are just going to be like, well, come on, this is so and so. Clearly, they have the money. Let's give it to them for free. Bitch, what? That's always confused me. And then when you're poor enough, it's just like, do you don't even have insurance. You don't even have a house to live in. You don't even have a car to drive. At least you're not an asshole. Because that's what I've always thought. If you're a rich and wealthy asshole, you can at least buy your way. They can't tell you no because the green's too good, more or less. But if you're poor and you're an asshole, let's lock them up. Let's throw them in a mental institution. They're already trouble. Why allow them on the streets where there's so many more civilized civilians that care about their lives and actually try to do effective things that make things better for everyone? Just throw them away and don't think about them. At the same time, because I do work, have worked a lot of hours, I am a taxpayer, even though I am not a U.S. Wrong word. I am a U.S. citizen. I'm just not. I'm a resident. I'm just not an American. So therefore, I think in a sense, am I really not paying for things? Because really, the people that aren't really paying for things are the ones that don't pay taxes, don't participate in the same race that we do. So therefore, it's just like I'm kind of paying, like the things that I was paying into is kind of coming back to me. It's just currently like I don't have the monetization for them to tax me even more, so they get more money off me, and I don't have the abilities quite yet. But I've been learning throughout the years that whoever makes the prices can always change it. But for the fact that the group will always buy that product and always endorse that product, it's just like the price is literally the way it is because the group wants it to be. If you don't want it to be that price, get the group to stop buying it. Plain and simple. And it's not like I don't get the whole entire processing of why people tend to charge the things that they do. It's more or less so it creates scarcity, so that way they don't always sell out. That way it's not going out fast and it's coming in or being built and produced. But in certain instances, I just don't think it's always like that. Like in the grand scheme, I get it, but why? Like every single time I always think like why? And a lot of things just boil down to money, but honestly past money it boils down to greed, ego, pride, and trying to, like, there's trying to make a living, and then there's just saying screw everybody else, I'm just worried about me. And I think a lot of the businesses and a lot of the brands are just like screw everybody else, I'm worried about me, compared to I'm trying to help myself, I'm trying to help the community. And like, I don't know, maybe it's because I care more outwardly than inwardly, and that's more or less because I upbringing, all this and all that, and it's just like maybe I just need to care inwardly way more.